Hi everybody, it's Monday afternoon, last day of October. Halloween's ending, we're getting ready for November. And November means Thanksgiving. Everybody likes Thanksgiving. People, I know you're already making your grocery list of all the things you're going to need this month. And you want to get an early start of gathering up your items, and I'm going to help you today. I'm going to give you one of my favorite recipes. This recipe was given to me by a local chef. He had moved next door to me for a few months while I was having a new house built. So it was Christmas, and he invited me over. He had other guests there, and he invited me over to have dinner with them. And at that dinner, he served corn pudding. Now, all I can tell you is that was the best corn pudding I've ever eaten. I liked it so well that I had to ask him for the recipe, and he gave it to me. Now, he told me that when he makes this corn pudding, he buys the freezer bag of shoe peg corn. That's what he uses in his recipe. Now, I'm going to say this. If you use the frozen corn, I'm going to make a suggestion. Let's just say you're using 3 cups of corn. You take one of those cups and put it in your little food chopper, and you just zip it a couple of times so that it kind of cuts up those kernels of corn and gives it a little creamy look. That helps make your corn pudding creamier. Now that's just a suggestion. You don't have to do that, but that's what I would do. Now, when it comes to cutting off corn, you've seen all of the gadgets. How many gadgets can they make for cutting corn off the cob? In fact, that's the kind of corn I'm using for my corn pudding. During the summer, when you get the good sweet corn coming in, I buy up extra ears and I cut them off. I cook the corn a little bit, put it in freezer bags, and I put it in the freezer for holidays. I usually have about 1.5 to 2 cups in each little freezer bag. Those stay there, and they're to be used only for special occasions, and Thanksgiving and Christmas are the first 2 special occasions. Now, in using the fresh corn, I'm going to show you some pictures. These are pictures of corn that I have cut off the cob myself and used in the recipe. And I want you to see what it looked like. I'd like to give you samples of my work, but that takes too long. This is what the corn looked like when I get ready to take it off the cob. And I use my mother's method. My mother swore by her big butcher knife. So I've got a nice big chef knife that I sharpen up, and I cut the corn off the cob the same way she did. And she could cut the top of the corn, little nibs, then she'd cut another row, and she could even cut 3 rows off of an ear of corn. I can't do that. I can only get 2. And then the next thing I'll show you, let's see if we get this right. Whoops. Come on. There we go. There's where I have cut the corn off and scraped it You can see the corn in the bottom in the bowl. I've scraped all of the cream out. See how open those cavities are? That got all that cream out of my corn. The next step, let's see what happens. I'm cooking the corn. I put a little butter and a little sugar just in case the corn isn't sweet enough. And I put it in the skillet and I let it cook slowly. I stir it for 10 or 15 minutes. And if it seemed too thick, not enough cream in it, I put a couple tablespoons or so of milk to stir it up and give it a creamy effect. Now when I take this out of the skillet, I put it in freezer bags, and then I dip the freezer bags down in ice water, and I leave them in that ice water until the corn has cooled. When the corn has cooled, the bags go into the refrigerator. I usually have about anywhere from a cup to 2 cups of corn in each bag. That way I can use as many as I want or as I need for my meals. I can have enough for 2 or 3 different meals. So that's what I do there. Now I've got another picture I'm going to show you later. I'm going to put this aside and we're going to get started on my corn pudding. All right, I want you to see, this is the corn pudding. This is the corn I cut off during the summer, just a few months ago. And I've had it in the freezer. It's ready for use. Now I started on my corn pudding. Now I have to check back with my recipe to make sure I'm doing things right. First of all, let's get the page. Get the page right. I want to give you the recipe step by step so that you have a chance to write down the ingredients. Let's just say there's 3 cups of corn here. That's what my recipe calls for. Now, that's what you need there. The next step is you want to mix the wet products together. It calls for 6 whipped eggs. My eggs are large and I only had 5, and I think I'm just going to use 4 because they're extra large eggs, and that will just about equal to 6. So this is going in my little green bowl here. Where am I putting the eggs in there? This is going in my little green bowl right there, one at a time. I want to get this all right. You can watch what I'm doing. Oh, I don't have it close enough for you, do I? Maybe you can see what I'm doing. I'm dropping the egg down in this little green jadeite bowl. This is egg number 3. And where's the other one? 3. 4. I've lost an egg. Where'd it go? 3, 4. Where did my egg disappear to? I had 5 of them. Oh, who knows what happened to it, but I don't see it. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to whip these eggs up. You can see what I'm doing. Want them whipped good. You see that other egg? How could it disappear? But it did. Okay. That's okay. Now, this egg is going in with the corn. Get it down in there. Get it in the corn. Okay. I don't understand how an egg can disappear, but it did. Okay, the next item is I need 3 cups of heavy cream. I don't have the heavy cream, so I'm using half and half. I'll put 3 cups into my corn. You can watch me pour the milk into the cup, 1 cup at a time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that take care of the milk. Put milk back in the refrigerator. Stir that up a little bit with my whisk. Let you see what I'm doing. You can watch me. Just get that mixed up together, blend it. Okay. Now let's see. I've got to mix my, I need another little dish. Hold on here, I'm going to get another dish. Here we go. Whoops, I'm making a mess here. Just bear with me. I've got 1 tablespoon of flour. I've got, let's see how much baking powder it calls for. This is a half of a tablespoon of baking powder. Now we need a half cup of sugar. I'm not using a full half cup because I already had put sugar in my corn when I cooked it. So, but you use a half cup of sugar. A little bit of salt, just a dash. That'll do it. And a dash of white pepper. Here we go. That ought to do it. You could see that. No, you didn't see that. Okay, right there. Little pepper, little salt, sugar, baking powder, and flour. Now, just need to mix that together. Let's see what's next. I want to make sure I have everything. All right. The dry ingredients are ready to go in to my corn, milk, and egg. Here we go. There. Stir that around. Get it blended good. think that's just about got it. Take a look. Can you see it? You can't tell much about it. It's really a very simple recipe, but it sure does hit the spot. Now, it's supposed to be like, how much butter did it call for? It called for 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Go ahead and put that in there. And I'm going to dribble a little bit of it into my dish because I want to have a little butter on the bottom of the dish. I've already put some. Take this back out. Got to turn my oven on to 350 degrees. Now this looks real soupy, but it won't be when it comes out of the oven. I wish I could bake it and show you the finished product today, but it has to bake about an hour at 350. And you know, it's like your cakes. When you checking to see if your cake is done enough, you take a straw or a toothpick and you put down in the cake and pull it out, and if it comes out clean, you know your cake is done. Well, corn pudding works just about the same way. You can take a point of your knife, let's say it like this, and you just put it down in the middle of your corn pudding to see if it is done. Now, if it wiggles, it's not done. You leave it in the oven a little longer, and it should be getting light brown. It's a golden brown. It's not. It doesn't get that burnt look. It's just a golden brown. Now I'm going to put this in my dish. I've got a big dish here. And I'm just going to pour it right in there. This is going to make a large dish of corn pudding. And Jan has already informed me that half of this comes to her. She loves my corn pudding too. So this is how this is done. I wish you could see my mother doing cutting her corn. She was a master at it. You just sit and watch her. She knew how to whip that butcher knife around, make it do the job for her. Now take a look at this. This is my big dish of corn pudding. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. I want you to get a good look at it. This is about as good. Look kind of light, but it's got both your yellow and white. You know how you have the different sweet corn, silver queen. Oh, there's so many now that to me they all taste just alike, which is delicious. Now I'm going to put this in the oven. Should have turned the oven on a little sooner. But I'm going to slide it right in there. I've got a large pan that this is going to sit on. Let me see what time it is. It's 10 minutes to 6. At about 6:45, I'll be taking a look at my corn pudding to see if it's ready. And I'll guarantee you I'll be eating some of it tonight. Now the other picture I wanted to show you is corn pudding finished. This was in a Pyrex dish. Oh, wait a minute. Come on. Here we go. There we are. See how that looks? Now that's in a big Pyrex dish. And that's how your corn pudding will look when you take it out of the oven. That's how it should look. And right here in the middle, hold on, right here in the middle, that's where it, get off of there. Right in the middle is where you can tell if it's done. You wiggle your dish a little bit, and if it still wiggles, close the oven door and let it cook a little bit longer, and shake it again, but don't let it burn. Now, if this doesn't turn out to be one of your favorite dishes, I want to know, because we've done something wrong if it doesn't come out the way it should. You can use canned corn. You can use white corn. Some people put canned cream corn in with the whole kernel corn. Now, I'm going to go by my friend, the chef, suggestion. If you don't want to go to the trouble I went to cutting the corn off the cob, but if you've got the energy and you want to do it that way, I've just told you how it was done. And it actually makes better corn pudding than the frozen corn does. But you might try the yellow corn, you might try the shoe peg corn, but do what I said with that 1 cup of corn. Put it in your food chopper, zip it again, and see if it cuts it up enough that it's gonna pull a little of the cream out of those kernels, and that way it will make your corn pudding creamier. I hope this is a success for you, and I hope you do try it. You might want to try doing it before Thanksgiving. That way you can see for sure if you want to serve it to your family and your guests. Now, the second recipe that I'm going to give you will be my dressing recipe. It's not really my dressing recipe. It was my mother's before me. We both learned, didn't matter what you did to the dressing, how fancy you got with it, whether you put pecans in it, whether you put green pepper in it, well, no matter what you did to it, there was no dressing better than the simple recipe that we have used for years and years. So the next time I'm in the kitchen, you're going to get my dressing recipe, and I guarantee you, your family will like it. It just hit the spot. I tried changing it one time. Saw one in a magazine. I said, "Oh, this looks good. I'm going to try this," and I tried it. I took it to a family gathering, and when we all finished eating, standing in the kitchen with my sister, and she says, "What's in that pan?" I said, "That's dressing." It was about 2/3 full. There hadn't been that much eaten. And she said, "Dressing? I thought it was brownies." Well, it may as well have been brownies because it wasn't good. I guarantee you. I said, I'll never try someone else's dressing recipe again. My recipe works, and if it works, it doesn't need fixing. You know that old saying. So you watch, you keep an eye out for the next time I'm in the kitchen. It'll be Pat's dressing. Jan called me this afternoon. She got an invitation to go out to dinner tonight. I just wanted to tell you this little story. She learned that the friend she was going with was going with her mother, and her mother couldn't go, so Jan said, well, I'll go with you. Well, what she learned was that this is a dinner theater dinner. You're familiar with them, where they have a little mystery. It's a mystery dinner. Now, I've done this one time about 10 years ago, and so who was I going to go as? What character could I be? So Jan and I got together, and she said, go as Norma Desmond. I've already forgotten her name. You've seen Carol Burnett imitate Norma Desmond. Gloria Swanson. Gloria Swanson was the movie star. The movie was Sunset Boulevard. Everybody's seen that movie, and everybody's seen Carol Burnett imitate Gloria Swanson. It is so funny. Well, okay. I went to my friend's house. She was the one giving the dinner party. And there were going to be people there I didn't know. And I got into the bedroom and I started putting on makeup. I've never had so much makeup on in my life. My eyelashes practically stuck together whenever I batted my eyes. And I came out of the bedroom and she just killed over laughing because I had really done a job on Norma Desmond. So today when Jan said, oh, she said this is going to be a mystery dinner party. I've got to dress up. I don't know what to do. And she said, and then I remembered when you went to the dinner party as Norma Desmond. So Jan had the jewelry, she had the dresses, she has the headpieces, she has anything and everything in the line of dress up. So she called me about an hour ago and she said, now I'm going to put you on FaceTime. I want your opinion. She had already put on her costume. She had on a sequin gown, spaghetti strap. This was a gown that had been her daughter's in high school. This 20-some years ago. But the dress still, it fit Jan perfect. And she said, but I can't wear a bra with it. It got spaghetti straps. And I'm at that age now where I don't have the uplift anymore. And I said, well, go as Carol Burnett. You remember she used grapefruits. She filled these bags with grapefruit hanging down. Well, she said, that won't work for me. So anyway, she had completely dressed. She had her boa. She had her headband. She had rhinestone jewelry, rings, bracelets, huge necklace. She had feathers in her headpiece, and her eyes looked just like Carol Burnett playing Norma Desmond. So, if they have a contest for the best costume tonight, I sure would like it if Jan would win, because she looked like Norma Desmond. She did a terrific job. So I'm going to wait for her. I said, now when you get home, I'll still be up. So you just go ahead and call me and send me the pictures. So she said she would. So tonight, I'm going to get to see if Norma Desmond wins the costume contest. And if she gets some good pictures, I'll show them to you later on. because I know she won't mind that at all. Now, I've been on here long enough. My corn pudding's in the oven, and I'll report to you and let you know how it tastes when I sample it later on. So I'm glad you're with me. Hope you're having a good day. And I'll start planning for my next video. You hang in there and tell your friends they better be watching me, because I'm going to give you some good recipes, and I sure hope to have some good stories in the future. I'm so pleased that so many of you have joined me and follow me. It's an uplifting feeling when you get my age and you can still get attention from the young people. Thank you for watching me. Bye-bye.